One MASCAC game in the books for each of Bridgewater State's basketball units, and they're looking to capitalize on some success today here at the Tinsley Center. A doubleheader, men's and women's basketball, both against the Vikings of Salem State University right here on the campus of Bridgewater State University. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bears Sports Network. I'm Matt Donahue.
And I'm Olivia Jeddick.
These two teams come in different places, Bears men's basketball and women's basketball. Men's basketball, of course, starting off our doubleheader. They're 0-1 in conference play. Took an unfortunate 5-point defeat against Framingham State just earlier this week. How do you think they're going to respond to even a thin defeat like that today against a pretty, frankly, underperforming Salem State unit?
Yeah, I think they're going to respond well, and they have a good leader at Coach Matt McLaughlin in his first year. He's going to know. And let's just...
Well, we lost you temporarily amid the Star-Spangled Banner, but we're back. Anyway, Olivia, as you were saying, the Bears 0-1 in conference play. How do you think they're going to respond against a Salem State team that has not really lived up to the expectations they set for themselves at the beginning of the year?
As we're waiting to meet the starters for Salem State, I think it's plain and simple. You know, they got to come out and they don't want to be 0-2 in conference play. And I think both teams, you know, both lost their opening matches. They're both going to be hungry, and I think we'll see how the Bears respond offensively and defensively.
It is a Salem State unit, like you mentioned, 0-1 in MASCAC play themselves, but they've struggled mightily on the floor this year, 3-11 overall. They're looking to start to right the ship as conference play begins. And this is a great opportunity for them to do it. I think both teams see a whole lot of potential in this game today. Yeah,
it's a great opportunity for, you know, for the Bears especially, you know, being at home and looking for that first conference win for, you know, Coach Matt McLaughlin in his first year, and also some of these, you know, younger guys on this roster. They're going to get kind of their taste of MASCAC play, you know, some being via freshman/transfer, and I think it's a good opportunity to get started. And you know what, this Salem State team, you know, they have a great coach coaching them, Chris Harvey, who's been here for a while, and they're going to feed off of his energy, and some of these guys have been here too for the Vikings, and they don't want to start off 0-2 either, so it's going to be an intriguing matchup, to say the least. And I think, you know, for both teams, getting off to that strong start is the key. So we'll see what happens. It's why they call it a game. It's going to be really exciting here, and the energy is great here in Tinsley right now.
You mentioned Matt McLaughlin, who, as you said, is in his first year coaching, or at least in the head coach position with this Bears unit after being an assistant, I believe, with the women's team just last year, for a couple of years before that. He knows the ins and outs of this program really well, and he's got this team off to a 10-3 start. They really capitalized greatly. Starters making their way onto the floor for both of these units. For the Vikings, Chris McDonald from Wakefield, Josh Coffey from Norton, Javier Osorio from Pittsfield, Jaden Castillo from Lawrence, and Connor Byrne from Melrose. For the Bears, Justin Parsons, the junior from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, Dante Kakuba, the freshman from Framingham, Lewis Jennings, the freshman from Walpole, Alex Gonzalez, the sophomore from Peabody, and Emerson Hall-Blythe, who's been a star for this Bears unit all year, from Carmel, Indiana, the grad student, a former club ball player at Purdue.
Yeah.
He has really shown in every aspect.
And I think, you know, the starting lineup is good. You know, you got a mixture of older guys, and then you got two freshmen in the lineup, Kakuba and Lewis Jennings. So I think, you know, for them, this is their first home MASCAC game. There might be a little bit of nerves. You know, there's definitely pressure on both of these teams to produce as they're down. And looks like that music's going to sound. It looks like we're going to get ready for this tip. It's going to be an exciting start. And like I said, it's important to get off a good start here.
It's a Bears starting unit averaging a combined 43.9 points per game between them. But it's the Vikings who win the tip.
Castillo is going to control on the wing. He's going to swing it over to Brine. Brine's going to skip it to McDonald in the corner. He's going to give a little shake. He's going to glide through the lane. Pull-up jumper. That's pure. Chris McDonald from Wakefield, Mass.
That's how you
connects.
That's how you set a tone.
Yeah,
score
definitely.
Score first, score early, score often.
Oh.
Kakuba at the top. Gonzalez at the wing, kicks it over to the corner to Hallblad. Feed inside to Jennings, step into the lane. Layup is good through contact.
That was definitely an extension there from Lewis Jennings, using the left hand. A lot of players, you don't see that, like to go to their left hand. Brine to Brine, as I like to say, both brothers here playing for Salem State. Castillo's dancing on the side. He's going to swing it over to Osorio. He's going to shoot it, and that's going to be a rebound. That was off Hallblad. That's going to be, Kakuba has it. He's going to be bringing it up the lane. He's going to swing it back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Hallblad. Swings it to Parsons. Back to Kakuba. Some good ball movement here for the Bears. He's going to skip through the lane. Jennings to Hallblad. And there's going to be a foul call. So some good ball movement for the Bears.
Unsurprising to see Hallblad trying to make a scoring play early. This is a guy who averages 14.4 points a game. He's a 64.3% free throw shooter. He really finds as many ways as he can to score, especially on the interior. 6'9", and he puts all of it to good use.
He's going to ring out on that first free throw. But yeah, definitely, I think he's been a huge upgrade for the Bears underneath. You could tell right away their job is to get to the paint and look for him, and he knows what to do. It was a really good pump fake by him to draw the defender.
He's the reigning D3Hoops.com Team of the Week member for a reason.
It's going to be a board by Brine, and that was Jarrett. It's going to be skipped out to Osorio, to McDonald. Castillo, he's going to drive down the lane. He's going to fade. He's going to go off glass for two. That's a tough two right there.
That's a difficult shot. Salem State, as it goes out of bounds, it's going to stay with Bridgewater. Salem State really finding a whole lot of creative ways to stick their feet in the paint early and just try to get in, take the interior shots. Don't try anything too fancy against a Bridgewater unit that can be tough as Jennings is fouled underneath.
Jennings, nice play. That was a really smart inbound pass, and very smart of him. He caught it with his right, recognized the defender was on his left, finished it nicely on the left side with his right hand smartly. So let's see if Jennings can connect on the three-point play here.
It's a whole lot of fundamentals basketball early in this game.
Definitely. He's going to connect on the three-point play. So a good start, honestly, for both teams. They're looking aggressive and pushing the ball. Castillo's going to have it on the wing. He's going to kick it out to Osorio, to Brine, to McDonald. The fadeaway two, that's pure. You can really tell that he likes to get to those spots in the mid-range there for McDonald. He looks comfortable there. Swing over to Parsons. Parsons has it to Kikabe. Jennings for two. Nice little turnaround mid-range. He looks comfortable out here. Lewis Jennings, a freshman, making this home MASCAC, opener here. He looks really comfortable early. He gets that rebound. He's going to kick it out to Parsons.
He's already exceeded his 4.1 points per game.
Parsons for three. The lefty. Little James Harden action there on the left side. I like it.
Justin Parsons has definitely stepped his game up.
It looks like there's going to be a foul there by Hallblad and there was a little fight under the boards with both the Brine brothers. Jarrett and Connor were battling Hallblad.
It's going to be Connerburn going to the line, and Parsons, like you were mentioning, he stepped his game up a lot. 8.1 points a game last year. This year, it's 9.7 coming into this game. He's really found a whole lot of ways to improve his game, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He's worked his way into the Bears starting lineup. Yeah,
definitely, and that's what you're looking for from year to year. These guys, making their game better and improving so that you can see these minutes go up. We're going to see Connor Brine shoot one more here for Salem. That's going to connect. Kikabe has it. Now he's being doubled. He's going to swing over to Jennings. there was no tip. They were looking for a tip, and it's a turnover there for Jennings. So a little bit of you can see the pressure from Salem that kind of sped them up a little bit. Sario's going to carry it up.
They're keeping it close early, and if you're in Salem's position, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to keep this Bridgewater unit, because that was a tough pull-up miss, tough layup attempt by Jarrett Byrne. You got to keep them at arm's length. You have to make sure the Bears don't go on any kind of crazy runs, don't start streaking on you.
Nice takeaway.
Like that.
Yeah. Gonzalez with the pull-up. That's going to be off the mark. A battle for the loose ball. Asario whips it off of Stanley Luis Pierre. It's going to be Salem State ball. Nice heads-up play by Javier Asario. As he was falling out of bounds, he threw it off the nearest Bear defender, and that's what you got to do. Smart heads-up play by him.
Absolutely is. Anything you can do to control the possession, make sure you do it. If it's legal, go for it.
That's going to be easy, too, for Jarrett Bryan.
He comes into this game 9.9 points a game. A whole lot of those in the paint.
Gonzalez cans it for three. I'm telling you, they got some good shooters on this club. You know, Gonzalez and Parsons alike. You got Quentin Champagne coming off the bench for the Bears. They have these weapons.
Absolutely. You and I were talking about this just before this match. This Bears unit has definitely made a whole lot of... There have been a lot of changes certainly from last year, but even guys like Gonzalez, who was with this team last year, guys have really stepped up as Kakuba makes a great steal. Guys have stepped up, improved their game, and it's showing in the results.
That's going to be a loose ball foul on Lewis Jennings after he kind of missed a little floater in the middle. Looks like kind of more of a frustration foul, but I believe that's going to only be his first. Looks like we're going to have a sub coming in here for Salem.
They're bringing in Josiah Green, and Josiah Green is exactly the guy you bring in for Salem State if you want some backup scoring. He's coming in 10.9 points a game, 3.3 assists per game. Not only can he shoot, but he creates opportunities for others. Exactly the kind of offensive force you want to bring off the bench if you're looking to get a shot in the arm, as I'm sure the Vikings are.
Another turnover here for Salem. Ball's going to be lifted to Kakuba with the alley-oop from Key.
What a pass by Keith Key. This Bears team is so glad to have him back.
I don't know if that's how they drew up the alley-oop, but I'm sure the Bears are going to take that one. That three-pointer is going to be well short by Byrne. Key he's going to swing over to Champagne. Champagne back to Key. To Pierre Lewis for the easy two. See, ball movement, the Bears are very good when they get in the paint, they move the ball, touches multiple hands. It's beautiful basketball when they can do that.
Absolutely. You look at the kinds of numbers that these guys can put up when they're working really well together. It's something truly magical. And that, I got to say again, as we show this play again, heck of a pass, long shot by Keith Key. In just his second game of the year, the other night against Framingham, he had 8 points. He's really able to be a contributor for this team. They're happy to have him back, the sophomore from Springfield.
Kakuba's going to bring it up here for the Bears. He's going to swing it over to Champagne. He was looking to shoot that one. Gets it over to Key. Priest has it. Step back three. That's going to be short. Rebounded by Byrne. Over to Castile. He's another one, you know, another three-point option they have.
Absolutely. The Bears have found a lot of ways to diversify their game. That was a tough fighting play underneath by Connor Byrne as he's going to head back to the free throw line.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be on number 25 for the Bears, Keith Key. So it's going to be funny. He's a key part to this Bears, you know, coming off the bench. He played well despite their loss to Framingham State. He came off the bench and he played that game really well. So they're going to be looking for him to bring energy and scoring and his athleticism for sure to this Bears lineup. Hallblad's going to re-enter here for Pierre Lewis.
And I think that's a sign that the Bears are seeing as we, obviously the score speaks for itself. Just a 2-point lead for Bridgewater State. And it's still very early in this first half. When you bring a guy like Hallblad back, it shows exactly what you're trying to do, which is extend this lead a little bit more.
There's a scramble all over the place, and that's going to be a travel called on Keith Key.
I was going to say, if that pass was complete, if that play could continue, that was going to be pretty magical, but he took a walk with it, unfortunately, for Bridgewater.
Green's going to bring it up here for Salem. He's going to swing it over to Byrne. Burns gonna drive. He's looking for an out. He's gonna pass it nicely to McDonald, who's gonna lay it up and in with his left hand. Impressive finish by Chris McDonald.
And perhaps more importantly, it's a tie game. Salem State is hanging in this one really early. They're not going away, and they're making a lot of great plays like that. Great find by Burns.
Kikibe 4-3, and that's gonna be, we're gonna see another push foul called here against Key. That's gonna be his second. Tough call. He was going for the loose rebound and just kind of couldn't slow down and ran into Burn.
Certainly. It's a very physical game early, no malice, but definitely these two teams are grinding it out for sure. Nothing we didn't expect, but they're really going to work early.
We're going to say Osario is going to be back in here. Over to Burn, to Green on the wing. He's looking for space. He swings it over to Osario. He's going to drive baseline, and that's going to be picked off by Kikibe. He's one of those guys that can get a ton of steals for the Bears. He's so quick.
Not his first of the day. That's, what, 3 steals now?
Yeah.
3 or 4.
And that's what he does so well. That's why he's on the court all the time for the Bears. He's just so pesky and gets, he's a good shooter, but on the defensive end, he's great. And that's going to be a turnover by Gonzalez.
A very Kikuba-like play there by Burn. Just good eyes on an errant pass.
Sorry, that's going to be short. Nice rebound by Hallblad. Now Coach McLaughlin's going to slow him down a bit, tell him to back it up, and they're going to run a set play here. Nice call. Kikibe is going to get it into Priest. That's going to back iron. It's going to be another rebound by Burn. Those two eat up the boards here, both alike for Salem. That was a late call there for a kick ball.
And Burn's finally going to get a break after all this.
And then number 15, Liam Burn, is going to come in for Salem. All 3 of them here on this Vikings unit. Green has it now. He's going to do a pull-up. And that's pure. Josiah Green with a nice pull-up game for Salem. They are up 19-17. Priest has it. He's going to kick it out to Champagne. He's going to pump fake. Priest off the mark. Hallblad with the rebound. He's going to get hit, earning him a trip to the line again. So that's what Hallblad does really well. He just hangs around and he draws a lot of fouls and gets a lot of rebounds for this Bears unit, and that's what they need. They need him to be solid underneath. Absolutely. He's a pretty decent free throw shooter, 64.3% as we mentioned. And as you can draw those fouls, if you can do that, make something out of nothing, take a play that's kind of starting to flail a little bit and turn it into a scoring opportunity, even at the charity stripe, that's a good thing. Especially because it's some of the first scoring we've seen for a couple of minutes now by either squad. They're really, it's pretty much a slap fight out here on the parquet today. Certainly these two teams come in with very different records, but they're fighting very evenly in the early going in this first half. Yeah, definitely. And Hallblad was able to connect on 2 of those free throws to tie this ball game up. Osario has it. He's going to kick it to Green on the wing for 3. That is good. This team is not afraid to throw up those threes for sure. Absolutely not. Some really creative offensive plays by both of these units. Case in point, although that didn't go quite the way Bridgewater State was hoping. Sario now has it on the open floor. He's going to drive. He's going to kick it out to Green. Green's going to get to the paint. Nice dish off to Burn, and he's going to cash it in for 2. Connor Burn with a tough finish over definitely a not small 6'9" Hallblad. And the Bears are starting to find themselves in the hole. It's a 5-point lead for the Vikings. And the Vikings are just out hustling right now in a whole lot of ways. Picking off passes, preventing shots, really doing everything they can. Forcing awkward ones like that one. That's not Champagne's favorite shot. Definitely, and he almost got a steal there. Nice heads-up play there by Champagne to at least break that up after the tough shot at the top to prevent, a fast break opportunity. And McDonald getting a breather. Castillo inbounded there as he comes in. Sorio has it up top. He's going to get it to the left side to Green. Step back 3, that's up. That's going to be short. Nice rebound by Parsons. He's going to kick it out to Champagne. Champagne to Priest. That's good. Peyton Priest good looking jump shot. That's what they need to hit, hit the middle on the zone. That's going to break it down.
Absolutely. Priest is one of those new additions, like we were talking about, a team that even though they've developed some of the guys who have hung around, that was a tough reverse layup by Connor
pass.
Byrne.
Yeah, nice catch and finish by Byrne, but a nice and even more impressive pass by Green. Did a little shovel underpass.
The Priest, whoa. We got a little involved in the play there.
Yeah.
But Peyton Priest, as I was saying, one of those guys that the Bears have added who have really been a huge asset. 6.3 points a game, 3.8 rebounds a game. Came out this way from Nebraska, formerly at Nebraska Wesleyan. Came out to the Bay State, and he's been showing out in a lot of ways in a great support role for Bridgewater.
Definitely. And Priest again, same spot. And that will roll in for him. A nice shooter's friendly bounce, little home court.
2 points is 2
friendliness.
points.
Yeah, of course, you got to take it when you can. Castillo's going to have it up top. He's going to swing it over, and that's going to be up. That's going to be a turnover for Salem. That pass looked a little risky when it left his hands, and Osorio couldn't corral it, so that's going to be out of bounds. Bridgewater possession.
And they're going to roll back in both Connor Byrne and it looks like Chris McDonald, as I believe that's Green heading to the bench. Looked like he was kind of grabbing his back a little bit. I don't know if he's cramping up or if he's sore in some other way. Not sure what the situation is, but he's going to get a breather.
Priest has, he's going to swing it over to Parsons. Parsons in the lane, floater with the left hand. That's good. He likes that left hand for sure.
We talked about him up in his offensive game. He's really scoring noticeably more, tangibly more than he did even just last year.
And you know what, that could just be more of an opportunity, more playing time. That was an incredible block by Hallblad. Just faced him and just swatted that away. Parsons going to drive baseline. He's looking for help. Nice dish off to Jennings. He's going to get his own rebound. A little sky hook over the right side. All right.
A great play made possible by a block turned into a turnover by Emerson Hallblad. That's not something everyone can do. You can block, you can steal, but getting both in the same play is a bit rare.
That's going to be, it's going to be a jump ball called as Bryant was turning. It was knocked out of his hand and he came back down with it, so they decided to call it a jump. So it's going to be Bears possession. Over to Parsons on the wing. He's going to try to get it in the middle to Jennings, who has it. He's going to drive right hand, scoot through the lane. Tough finish for Lewis Jennings. He's really using his size really well today.
Absolutely. These are not freshman year plays being made by Lewis Jennings in the paint.
Sario's going to be off on the mark. Priest is going to bring it up. He's going to get it back from Hallblad. 4-3. That's going to be off the mark. Rebound by Castillo. He's going to bring it up. He's going to swing it over to Osorio. Over to Byrne. Byrne to his brother, Byrne. Little brother-to-brother action.
And a couple more subs. They're bringing in a first-year student of their own, Will Martinez, are the Vikings. A guy who has not seen the most time, but someone who can contribute now and again in some interesting ways. And who is so far a 100% free throw shooter in his Vikings career as of yet.
Castillo's going to have it up top. He's going to get, that's going to be turned over. Now Parsons has it in the open floor. He's going to drive, going to try with his left hand, and that's going to be denied. It's going to be Connor Byrne with the rebound over to Castillo. He's going to bring it up. He has it on the top of the key, being harassed, nearly saved by Urema.
That's a tough hustle play by Tyler Uyemura. Didn't end up the way he was hoping for, but that kind of hard work, that kind of determination and grit, sacrificing your body for the play, those little things matter over the course of a game. Not the first fellow we've seen running into the scorer's table today.
Yeah.
Though not as close to us.
Now Salem State's going to put on some full court, you know, a little bit of pressure. Over to Jennings.
Only a 3-point deficit for the Vikings, though. Seems to me, in my unprofessional opinion, a little bit early to be laying on a full court press.
you know what, as Gonzalez cashes in a 3, I think, you know, they might be doing that just to make them uncomfortable, make them think a little bit more, use some of the shot clock. That's what I would be thinking if I was them.
Absolutely. Ends up leading to that Gonzalez 3 anyway, though. And forcing his way inside, Jared Byrne. Jared and Connor Byrne are just absolutely laying the smackdown on the interior. 6'7", Jared is. Connor is 6'8". They're using every inch right underneath.
Parsons' 3 is going to be off, and that's going to be another rebound by Jared Byrne. 2 of them just collect all the rebounds for Salem State.
Most definitely, and they make crucial interior plays.
McDonald with a nice floater down the lane. And as Salem State will stay in the zone, Jennings has it on the key. He's going to get it to Hallblad. Hallblad tries to pass it off. Urema saves it, lobs it to Hallblad. Hallblad looking for help. Now looks like it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be Bridgewater ball.
It's tough to make a great play like that, force a jump ball, as you see here between both Byrne brothers and Lewis Jennings. It's tough to make a play like that and then turn it over anyway over the course of the possession arrow, the jump ball and everything. But that's still a whole lot of hustle. Great play really by all 3 men involved, Jennings and both Byrnes.
Definitely. So we're going to see Green up top, and then that's going to be a foul called here.
And that's going to be 3 free throws.
Oh, it's going to be 2, actually. Maybe his foot. Yeah, it was a little bit.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
He's a little bit inside the arc.
Longer mid-range.
But anyway, it's going to be Josiah Green.
I look away at my stats for 1 second, and all I see is him stepping back outside the arc. And I made an assumption, and you know what they say, what happens when you assume?
Green's going to cast the first out of 2 free throws for him. Osaya is going to come back in for Martinez. Green's 2 for 2. Solid at the line. Jennings has it. He's going to kick it back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for help now. He's going to dribble out of it wisely. He's going to kick it to Hallblad. Hallblad wisely gets rid of it. That's going to be off the mark. 3. That was an intense fight there between Jennings and the Byrne brothers. Fighting for that rebound.
I have a feeling we're going to see a whole lot more of those 3 scrapping over the course of this game. Jennings obviously doing a whole lot of duty underneath the basket as the primary board man for the Bears in this moment.
Definitely, and with that fight, the Bears were able to win possession back. Gonzalez is going to inbound here for Bridgewater. He's looking for help. Jennings over to Urema. He's looking for help.
It's kind of interesting to see the way the Bears are using Hallblad as opposed to Jennings in this game so far. You know, Hallblad, a big rebound guy, averages almost 10 a game, but they're keeping him further outside, using Jennings as the main board man in the restricted area, keeping him right underneath, and it's working so far. But it's just interesting to see this sort of different tactic being used here.
Yeah, it is, and that could be maybe their way they're attacking the Salem zone. As Green will pull up top of the key, all net, pure shot by Green, 4-3.
Josiah Green's a tough customer, not somebody you want to leave open at all.
Gonzalez has it on the top. He's going to try to dribble through the lane. He's being guarded. Nice pass into Jennings, and then he's going to be held, apparently. It's going to be on 10, Osario. That's his first. That's 16 fouls, so 16 fouls against the Bears and 4 against the Vikings. Champagne's going to check back in for Parsons. Gonzalez is going to once again inbound from the baseline here for Bridgewater.
For all the brute force we've seen, only 10 team fouls through 14 minutes of play. This game is a lot cleaner than it looks to the untrained eye.
Definitely. That was another jump ball, and it looks like possession's going to be with the Bears.
In their own end, too.
Urema has it up top. He's going to get it to Jennings. Jennings looking for help. Hallblad has it on the block. He's going to make his move, spin baseline. That's going to be denied by Byrne.
A lot of offensive grit by Hallblad, better defensive play by Byrne. That spin move is tough, but credit to Byrne for managing to maintain his composure and keep that from turning into 2 easy points for Emerson Hallblad.
Gonzalez is going to catch on the wing. He's going to drive baseline. Now he's looking for help. He picked up his dribble. He tries to get to Lewis, and that's going to be stolen by McDonald. That's going to go out of bounds. But it's going to remain Vikings possession. It looks like Stanley Pierre-Louis is going to check in. Hallblad's going to take a seat.
That kind of fast break play by McDonald is sort of the kind of spot where you might expect maybe an errant take foul by Bridgewater State, something like that. They managed to avoid fouling, and that's good defense on their part doing so, but that's also just a great offensive shot by Josiah Green in the corner there, hitting a big one.
Definitely, and I think he's getting in rhythm, and once you start hitting fadeaways in the mid-range, you know it's your day for sure. Pierre-Louis with a nice, delicate right-handed finish. Nice play by him.
Excellent play, but the Bears find themselves in a 3-point hole right now. McDonald missed everything on that one, though.
He got a little too excited that he was open in the corner all by himself.
Such is the way sometimes with those kind of shots. Ooh, what a strip.
Nice strip by Green, but some nice passing interiorly for the Bears. They just got to convert on those looks.
Absolutely.
Byrne swings it over to Green. Green's going to put it up. That's going to be off the mark. Pierre-Louis with a nice rebound.
Those are going to be his shots all night. Josiah Green is someone they really have to be careful guarding. Don't leave him alone on the perimeter because he can be dangerous.
Yarima's going to kick it out. It's a nice shot by Jennings again. He's been really key inside, you know, that elbow area, free throw area. They're really looking for him when you drive baseline, especially in the zone. The kick out's going to be there right in the middle. So good, you know, Jennings is a good catch and shoot from that area, as we saw from Priest as well for the Bears. That's kind of the open areas that I think the Bears are seeing right now in the zone.
Absolutely. Whatever they're doing is working. You see right here, just inside the paint, maybe a little closer to the elbow than anything. That's not the easiest shot in the world.
Yeah.
You can overestimate or underestimate very easily. He's able to make the placement work brilliantly, bring the Bears back within one. He spooked the Vikings into a timeout. Chris Harvey took one look at that shot, took one look at the scoreboard and said, let's regroup. It's been a really even fight here so far. Every time one of these units makes one great play, the other side comes back and just really responds in true fashion. They're really making it look easy out here today.
And I think that's what you're going to see, you know, all year long in conference play. You know, just teams not wanting to fall far behind. They'll do anything they can, scrap, you know, fight, call timeouts just to stop rhythm.
Especially for the Bears, who are very much in contention this year after a season last year that was rather a bit of a struggle. And the Vikings, of course, looking to reset things. Their overall record, kind of a struggle, although you wouldn't know it by some of the plays Connor Byrne is making. It's been a bit of a struggle for them season long, but they have every opportunity in the world, still just 0-1 in MASCAC play, same as the Bears. They have every opportunity to make a whole lot of noise in the conference.
You know, that was such a great fundamental play. You know, nice pick and roll between him and McDonald just drew 2 defenders, you know, floated it to, you know, Connor Bryan, and then he kept it high like they teach you in the post, you know, keep it high, finish high, and that's all I needed to do.
Absolutely. He cashes in on the 3-point play to extend the lead as well, give Salem State some breathing room.
Yarima has it on the wing. He's going to kick it out to Gonzalez, to Lewis. Lewis looking for someone to help him. He's going to pull up, and he's going to hit that. That's a tough shot over a defender right in his face.
He's making some great mid-ranges today, Jennings is. Very DeMar DeRozan. He's hitting some really tough-looking mid-range shots, as there's a whole lot of flesh hitting a whole lot of floor at the other end.
We thought that was going to be an offensive call, but that's going to be a blocking call against Alex Gonzalez. So close call there for Bridgewater. But, you know, good idea. You see a guy, you know, coming really hard to the paint, try to sacrifice your body and try to get a charge for this team, as we're going to see Jennings get a well-deserved rest. Peyton Priest is going to check back in for Bridgewater. And you know what? He fit the same role as Jennings. He was in that mid-range area hitting those shots, so look for him to do the same.
Absolutely.
Parsons actually also going to come in here, 2 for the Bears. So we'll see if he can kind of pick up where he left off in the scoring department.
Jennings and Priest, definitely, like you said, 2 forwards who can really plug and play. You put them into a lot of the same drills as that rolls around for Osorio. But you can really have them fit the same role, and they're both very competent. They're able to hit a lot of tough shots that not so many mid-range shooters would be able to necessarily grab.
Right. Going to see Osorio solid at the free throw line. I'll have to say this Vikings team is very solid at the line. They really make them count.
Most definitely. Most of these guys out here on the floor, very competent free throw shooters. So that was a long try by Priest. Good shot, unfortunate roll.
Priest with the in and out. Nice rebound by Parsons, but he'll be denied, and that's going to go out of bounds. So some good hustle here for the Bears. Parsons hitting the offensive glass really strong. Maybe could have been a foul, you know, when he came down with it, but he stuck with it, and they're going to earn themselves another possession.
This is what I mean, at risk of repeating myself. A lot of these guys, not only in terms of new additions, guys like Jennings who have come to this program, Hall Blybe, but guys who have been with this Bears program and have really rounded out their game in a whole lot of ways. And I mean, it's a complete mirror image of what we saw last year. This unit really wasn't able to act cohesively, and now they are.
It's going to be a jump ball. It's going to be Vikings possession. I don't know. That could have been easily a foul on Pierre Lewis, but wisely kind of got a hand on it.
I was starting to think that, but instead just a really skillful, unfortunately, you know, for the Bears, ends up with the Vikings anyhow. But a good grab on the ball by Pierre Louis, preventing a foul.
Burns going to throw that away, trying to throw it to his brother, so that's going to go out of bounds. Another turnover here for Salem. For the first time, we're going to see Jordan Wetterlin check in here for the Bears. Good veteran presence for the Bears. Absolutely.
He was an integral part of this unit last year. Mostly been coming off the bench at a lower level capacity this year, but still somebody who's an asset in terms of experience and knowledge and IQ for Bridgewater State.
Nice dish off to Pierre Lewis, and that's not going to go in. Nice look by Wetterlin to Pierre Lewis, but couldn't connect. Castillo has it on the wing. He's going at Champagne. Fade away. That's going to be off the glass. Nice rebound by Pierre Lewis. That's something that Pierre Lewis does really well, is offensive boards. That's going to be a turnover.
That's one of his biggest assets. Stanley Pierre Louis is someone who can provide a lot of height to a Bears team that, although they've really improved, they haven't gotten super long.
Yeah.
And Stanley Pierre Lewis is one of the big guys who can really remedy that. Right up there with Hall Blybe.
Castillo's going to have it on the wing. He's going to swing it over to Byrne. Byrne to Osorio. He's looking for help. He's going to swing it back to Byrne. Byrne's going to go to Castillo. Castillo into Byrne. And that's just going to go out of bounds. A turnover by Salem. Some good solid help team defense by this Bears unit.
It's interesting to note the foul disparity. Bears, of course, over the limit in terms of what they've given, but still just 4 team fouls in this whole half for Salem State. And they enjoy a 4-point lead. I think that really speaks to their defensive ability. They're able to create a whole lot of havoc without sending anyone to the free throw line.
Yeah, definitely. And from now on, like, when Bridgewater fouls Salem, if it's not a shooting foul, they're shooting one-on-one. And then when you keep going up, then it'll turn into double bonus. And you never know. I mean, there's only a minute 40 left in this half, but could revert into some free points. They're going to call it jump ball. It's going to be Bridgewater possession.
That was a very interesting one.
Definitely.
Right underneath there, and the catalyst of all that was Champagne trying to find Pierre Louis underneath in traffic. It was very tough. Credit to Stanley Pierre Louis for hanging on to that, gripping on for dear life, and maintaining that possession for the Bears.
Yep. And it looks like Hallblatt's going to check in for the Bears. Parsons has it. Wetterlin's going to pump fake. He's going to glide through the lane, use the other side of the glass, and he's going to score off the glass. Really heady play by Jordan Wetterlin to kind of use the rim to, you know, block out all the shot blockers for Salem.
He's been around this program for a couple of years, the fellow from Minnesota. He knows this gym pretty darn well.
McDonald has it on the wing. He's going to pull up for 3, and that's pure. Another 3 for McDonald. Giving them a 5-point lead now. Wetterlin on the top. That's good. Jordan Wetterlin, I think he's getting a little comfortable now.
Absolutely. This is a guy who averages just a little over 2 points a game, and now he's already tallied 4.
Castillo has it on the wing. He's getting over to Byrne. Byrne to McDonald, another three. That's a little short. Urema with the offensive board. He's going to carry it up. He's going to swing it over to Champagne. Champagne to Urema for three. Off glass, did he call it?
I think he did.
Hey, you know what? They'll take it.
When everyone's getting into their offensive bag a bit, that's when this team can shine, and now they've got this tied up at 45 in the closing seconds of the half.
Castillo has a pull-up. That's good. Both of these teams really like the pull-up right in the middle there.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's really working for both of them.
Definitely. 47-45 is a score. We got about 10 seconds here. Wetterlin doing all the fancy footwork moves, and he's going to draw the foul.
It looks like he took a little bit of a hit to the face as he checks himself.
Yeah, with all those fancy moves here, as we can see him really utilize that pivot foot extremely well. There's going to be a time that he might get hit in the face. So nice take by him. Hopefully he's all right. He's going to take. Oh, I think they got to take him out for a second here. He's got blood.
Yeah, I see it right on his eyebrow there, his right eyebrow. He's took a little bit of a nick there. And the Vikings, meanwhile, are going to bring in Kennedy in just a moment soon as this situation is rectified. Jordan Wetterlin, a guy who is really tough, came to this program by way of, I believe, Wisconsin Superior. He's from Minnesota, and if you ever read up on him, read about a story that he told to the department at Wisconsin Superior, just a guy who's been through so much, came to this program and was vital, fought through all kinds of challenges growing up. Poverty, homelessness. He's really a trooper. Jordan Wetterlin, a real hard worker on and off the court, and a talented pianist at that. And he's been, the last couple of years, a really helpful addition in terms of experience and knowledge, and also some really creative plays for this Bears unit. Yeah, and I think, out of all those things we talked about him, I think leadership is a huge quality for him.
Most
definitely.
He's really good for these guys, these, first years and these transfers coming into this program. Like, he's a solid veteran who what you're going to get out of him, and he's an extension, I'm sure, of Coach McLaughlin, and he makes 1 or 2 free throws here for the Bears, so hopefully he can get the second one to tie this ball game up. Absolutely. Other than him and Hallbleib, it's a still really pretty young team. Not a whole lot. I mean, the only senior is Pierre Louis. This is a team with a whole lot of potential, but having that kind of experience, and that was a tough possible three-point play there. And that's going to roll in for Castillo, that was a tough finish. That was at least over 3 Bridgewater defenders. I believe that was going to be on Jordan Wetterlin as we were talking to him. Yeah, and he's still bleeding. He has to come back over to the sideline again. That eyebrow is giving him persistent trouble. He's going to check out, and they're going to bring in Priest for the last 1.2. But having that kind of experience, like we were talking about, and it goes both ways. You got a guy like Jaden Castillo at the free throw line. He's a senior. Experience matters. And to say the least, this was definitely a competitive first half. Absolutely. With the Vikings, up with 2 points, up here 49-47, and if this is any, indication of what's going to come in the second half, it's going to be, we saw bloodshed already here in the first half, so. It's going to be tough. We're in for a really great one here. These two teams are fighting like cats and dogs out here today. It's an exceptional game to see. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the second half, definitely. I know, Matt, you are as well, but until then, we'll leave you to it. We'll check back out. We'll be right back with you after halftime here at the Tinsley Center. I'm Olivia Jeddick. The opportunities for me as an undergraduate here at BSU are essentially limitless. I've gotten an internship. I've been going to these great classes. I've definitely been given the ability to pursue something that's so passionate and dear to me.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III. 7:35 remaining. Tatum with the drive.
Gatorade studies the best athletes to create the most advanced range of sports fuel. Gatorade. You fuel us, we fuel you.
Rise and shine, and don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there. It's cold out there every day with the National Weather Service.
Snow day. 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 Touch, tackle.
Oh, hey, just having some breakfast before the big meeting. Because great hair and dynamite breath will only get you so far, or so I've been told. You see, breakfast isn't food, it's fuel for the fire that helps Earth be the best planet in the United States. We've got breakfast for everybody. Paleo people, we got sausage and bacon. Vegan, I don't know what that is, but we got a lot of fresh fruit. You call yourself a glutenarian? Hey, we've got cereal, bagels, toast, everything you can handle. We're insane in the grain. Oh, hey, pancakes, huh? I feel you on that. Hey, how about some bacon, guys? Huh? Can I get a hallelujah for bacon? Hallelujah! Yeah. Can I get a hallelujah for waffles? Huh? No? That's why we don't do waffles. We've got it all. And to prove it, I'll post a new breakfast combo with these cool new emojicons I'm working on. Say I post a toast sandwich with 3 bowls of cereal. I call that a carbonanza. Or bacon with eggs. And extra bacon and eggs. I call that a paleo no you didn't. What do you call it? Let me know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm having a little me time. Ooh, yeah.
I love my job. Hey, Taylor. I'm there when people need me. They count on me, because I do what it takes. Whenever.
Great, thanks.
Wherever. I don't do it for praise. I want to make them happy. I'm proud to work for an American company. I drive for WB Mason, and nobody does it better.
What does a crisis teach us? We need persistence, knowledge, empathy, action. We need innovators and leaders. Education is critical. And at Bridgewater State University, we're here for you. For a great education, 360 dedicated faculty, hundreds of programs, highly engaged learning, 11,000 hardworking, practical dreamers like you, finding their passion, launching their careers. We've been here for 180 years through all kinds of crises. Student safety? Always. Today, online, we're here for you, safely, with academic rigor, one-on-one intensity, and a focus on your future. Tomorrow, together again on campus, we'll be here for you, pushing forward. For tomorrow's crises, for tomorrow's challenges, for tomorrow's jobs, tomorrow's living. We need you, each of you, to persist, connect, innovate, create, learn, and lead.
I'm a current Division III student athlete, and I remember how intimidating the first year of college can be.
So if you're a first-year student athlete and nervous about coming out as LGBTQ, I pledge to stand by your side as your ally.
If you can play Division III.
We are Division III student athletes, and you can be too. If you can play in Division III.
You want to know the secret to victory? Fail to make the varsity team.
Start your career as a walk-on.
Go 3-13 your rookie season.
Lead the league in interceptions.
Take a perfect team and blow a perfect season.
Spend 108 years as a lovable loser.
This arena denied a shot at history by an unseated opponent.
Be on the wrong side of the biggest upset in your sport.
You really want to know the secret to victory.
And heartbreak for Matt Ryan, who is in utter disbelief.
Defeat. Come on, one more. Set. Yeah! All right, again.
Make defeat your fuel.
A billion people tuning into the match between...
Hey, you ready? You're not done.
Women's football game sets new sales record. Wangchuan rocks the world yet again.
Biggest turnout ever seen in sports. How does it feel?
It's Barca making a last push, and there's a foul.
That post, Gerard. Okay.
Big opportunity for coach Alex Scott and the team.
PK! Round the back!
Coutinho to PK. Goal! The league's first female coach makes history. Keeper fires to Dan. Oh, that's incredible footwork. She's on the move. Big chance for Australia, and Kerr setting up for the kick.
¿Pero qué está pasando ahí?
Hey, you ready?
Holiday Inn Express gets you the readiest, because ready gets out of a jam.
What?
But the readiest can flat out jam.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
I think if you're looking for a community that will respect your academic and personal passions and be able to provide one-on-one support, I think Bridgewater is the perfect school for you. I wouldn't trade my experience here for anything. So for me, studying English, you need to be a critical reader, a critical thinker, and a critical analyzer. And I think those are key skills that any employer is looking for.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I believe that everyone should be educated on LGBTQ issues.
I pledge to work with my athletic department and my campus to foster dialogue and create a community of support, respect, and pride.
If you can play in Division III.
We are Division III student athletes, and you can be too. If you can play in Division III.
If I could give an athlete one piece of advice, it'd be to find someone committed to taking you down.
And then we hit the field like boom! All day like boom! All night like boom! We hit the field like boom! Still time is like boom! All day like boom! All night.
Because that rival that wants to take you down is going to make you raise your game even higher.
All day like boom! All night like boom!
American woman, gonna mess your mind. American woman, gonna mess your mind. American woman, gonna mess your mind.
Hello and welcome back here to the Adrian Tinsley Center on a tightly contested game, I have to say, between the Salem State University Vikings and your Bridgewater State Bears. And there's only a few words, a tightly contested matchup between both of these clubs, fighting, clawing. There was even bloodshed here in the first half, just, you know, to get this first conference win. And you can see that the stat lines very, very similar. And
something tells me they're not actually shooting 4,000% from three, though.
Yeah, definitely.
That might be a typo.
Something that stands out to me is the turnovers. You know, Salem State's got 11 and Bridgewater's got 8. Maybe, you know, try to keep those down. You know, if they don't double each other's, you know, turnover totals, I think it's going to, you know, stay pretty closely contested in the points off turnovers. You know, you got 7 to 11.
Absolutely.
7 for Salem State. Bridgewater has 11. And then, you know, points in the paint, I think, is key. Salem State's got 20 and Bridgewater's got 18. So both teams are living in the paint and figuring things out. And points off turnovers is 7 to 11. It's closely contested here, both of these clubs.
That offensive board stat, 6 by Bridgewater State, just 1 by Salem State, really sticks out like a sore thumb to me. And I know you and I were talking about this in the first half, Olivia, how Bridgewater seemed to have tinkered with their board game a little bit. They had Jennings, who's back in the game, primarily running as the rebound getter, keeping Hallblad further outside. I think it was a really interesting way to sort of tweak their rebound game as the corner three is off the rim for Osorio. I think it's a really interesting way to switch up their game and freshen things up, but they do still find themselves in a 2-point hole as we start the second half.
Yeah, definitely. And also just to mention some other things, you know, for the Bridgewater Bears, Lewis Jennings had a great first half, leading the team with 15 points in the half. And for Salem State, it's a little bit more of a different story, more balanced scoring. They got 3 guys in double figures, and that's Green, McDonald, and Connor Byrne. So, you know, right away, you see Salem State more of a balanced scoring, whereas Bridgewater, you know, the freshman Jennings has really stood out here early on in the scoring mark.
I'm completely unsurprised that there's a Byrne brother in double figures.
Yeah, definitely. Jarrett Byrne, that's going to be short for him. Nice rebound. Kakuba is going to bring it up here for the Bears. Going to try to things down. Gets it over to Parsons, over to Gonzalez. Jennings in his sweet spot. He's gonna try to get it to Hallblad, and that's gonna be a foul. Nice heady pass.
That is definitely his sweet spot. That's sort of right at the elbow position where he's been dropping mid-ranges all day, but this time he tries a pass. Just a really good fight there. McDonald with a big defensive stop, tipping it out, preventing what would have been 2 really easy points for Emerson Hallblad.
Yeah, definitely. Parsons got it on the wing, gonna get it to Jennings. A nice swing out to Gonzalez, 4-3. Put it on the board. Nice looking 3-point shot by Gonzalez, and that's the strength of his game. He's an excellent 3-point shooter, and the Bears are gonna need every part of that in the second half if they're gonna, keep this game close.
He's cashed in on a couple of those today. The Burns have not. That's a very interesting shot from a swingman like Jarrett Byrne. Not something we've seen from either of those two today, Jarrett or Connor. I don't know if that's necessarily their shot. Maybe they've been working on it. I don't know. Certainly can't hurt to try.
Yeah.
But their sweet spot has definitely been right underneath. That restricted area, hanging around in the paint and causing trouble at both ends.
Hallblad's going to turn that over, and Jarrett Byrne's going to get that turnover. And he's going to just glide right to the hole, no resistance.
Case in point, you see what I mean? Great play keeping it in there by Gonzalez right in front of us. But that kind of stuff is exactly what I mean. They're killing it in the paint. They don't need to be outside to make things dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. And a nice, spin turn shot for Lewis Jennings, who is very stable right now for this Bears squad. As his point total is up to 17.
He's firing on all cylinders today.
Jennings gets a good board up to Kikuba, to Parsons. Nice fast break. Nice look up by Kikuba to Parsons, who just says thank you very much and lays it up with his left hand.
Dante Kikuba, and I think this is an underrated stat, 5.2 assists per game.
Definitely.
He can score. He averages 10.2 points a game, but 5.2 assists per game. He's really able to help others cash in, and cashing in right there is Osorio.
And you know what? A lot of it is, guys like Gonzalez and Parsons. They need someone to set them up sometimes, and he's the catalyst for that position.
Definitely. When you can assist, you can make a basket harder to stop.
And that's going to be another turnover for the Bears. Byrne has it. He's going to kick it out to McDonald, who's going to pass it to Byrne, and that's going to be denied, but not before a foul is called against Hallblad. And that's going to send Connor Byrne to the line. That's going to be Hallblad's second, so it looks like Stanley Pierre-Louis is going to check in for him.
Half a second less of hesitation, and Connor Byrne would have had 2 more points. It's a very nice defensive play by Hallblad. Unfortunately, a foul, though. But rather than giving the Vikings that much more of an opportunity for momentum, as there's some discussion as to now Connor Byrne is bleeding. Everyone's getting nicked up on their faces today here at the Tinsley Center, but as I was saying, rather than giving the Vikings some kind of momentum, rather than having them score this heads-up play and feel really good about themselves, and rightly so, they've been playing excellent basketball here today, make them earn it at the free throw line. Very competent free throw shooters, both Byrne brothers, but make it a little bit tougher. Stifle some of that momentum.
Definitely, and for Byrne, once he gets that, cut cleaned up and comes to the free throw line, this is a 1-point game, and you feel like every time a team gets ahead or gets a steal, a rebound, foul, etc., the other team responds with something. So I feel like it's going to be a nail biter. And going back to working the ball in the zone, the Bears are they had better looks, more success when they were getting the ball in the paint. And I think, right now early on, they're kind of settling for more outside shots, which, for guys like Gonzalez and Parsons, when they're falling, that's great. But with the zone, you really want to pound it in the paint and, hit Jennings and hit Priest and hit Wetterland in that little, area in the high post.
Absolutely, and the points in the paint have been crucial for both of these teams. Obviously, for the Vikings, a lot of that game has been Connor and Jarrett Byrne. For the Bears, it's a little bit more scoring by committee. I know we were talking about that before this game as well. They're really spreading out the scoring opportunities. But the outside shots haven't been perfect for either one of these units, except for maybe Gonzalez. But sticking around in the paint has worked really great for both of these teams. Obviously, the scoreboard speaks for itself. A really tight one, just a 1-point Bridgewater lead.
Byrne will miss the first. He's going to connect on the second. It's going to be a tie game, 54 all. Is Romero is going to bring it up. He's going to get it to Jennings. Jennings back to Urema. To Jennings, he's going to carry it up.
A lot of early pressure. Osorio nearly turned the Bears over there.
4-3, Tyler Urema cashes in 4-3. Big shot by him. McDonald's going to drive. Floater with the right hand. Softly done by him.
Case in point, just a lot of tit-for-tat basketball. Uyemura with a big three-pointer, his second of the day, I believe. And McDonald comes back the other end and says, you're not getting away with that unscathed.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we said, blow for blow. Team, one team scores and they come back, and nice pass by Urema to Pierre Lewis, and that's going to be a foul.
This is the Bears giving the Vikings a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, right? We saw that earlier play with Byrne where he was fouled by Hallbleib underneath. That's what sent him to the line right before they noticed the abrasion above his eyebrow. And now the Bears executing the same play at the other end, getting it done in their own right. Learning their lessons, learning from mistakes, learning from things frankly being shown to them by the other team, seeing how they can exploit it. That's how you make good basketball happen.
Definitely, and that's going to be Connor Burns' third foul. So number 15, Liam Burns, going to come in for him. Sario with the floater, kind of pulled the string on that one. That one's going to be short. Now there's going to be a whistle call, and now there's going to be a foul on him.
Osorio biting his tongue there a little bit as he steps away. Great timing by Gonzalez being there just in time to grab, I guess the air ball, if you want to call it that. You don't see a whole lot of air ball floaters.
Yeah.
But Gonzalez knowing exactly where to be, right place, right time, and ultimately inadvertently drawing a foul that extends the Bears' possession a little bit.
Going to see Gonzalez swing it over to Parsons. Parsons looking for help. To Gonzalez in the corner. Jennings in his sweet spot is going to dish it over underneath to Luis Pierre and just casually finishes over two defenders there for Salem. Nice finish by Pierre Lewis.
Pierre Lewis has been a workhorse in the paint as long as he's been out there today, and that was a whole lot of great ball movement by the Bears leading up to it, making the play unpredictable, and ultimately resorting to Pierre Louis' strength underneath.
Yep, for sure. Castillo with a little turn fade. Nicely done by him.
That was a brilliant spin move. I don't know how he got that one off. I would have made myself dizzy doing that. That is not an easy shot. Jaden Castillo with a big score there.
Lewis Jennings looking for help. Parsons 4-3. It's going to be off the mark. A near rebound. Castillo misses that one. That's going to go out of bounds. So an opportunity missed there for Salem as the Bears.
It's good thinking by Osorio for certain, getting up ahead. A very heads-up play, but just an unfortunate bounce off of Castillo's hands.
Definitely. Urema's looking to get the call from Coach McLaughlin up top. He's going to dance with the ball. He's going to pass it over to Champagne. He's going to swing it over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez in the nice catch by Pierre Lewis again as Jennings caught it right on the top of the key turn and fired a pass down to Pierre Lewis.
And that one got deflected too. If you look here, Liam Byrne goes a little bit tip drill in the paint there, and it ends up with Stanley Pierre Louis anyway. That was a bit of luck on the part of Bridgewater State, but ultimately it's going to send Stanley Pierre Louis to the line.
That's going to be Burns first. Pierre Lewis is going to get two here. It's going to roll off the rim for him. Jennings is going to come out. Waterland's going to come back in. He was definitely a spark off the bench for the Bears. That's why he's come in so early.
Absolutely. When you've got a couple of guys like that, a couple of, taller guards, shorter forwards who can sort of fit into roughly the same places in the game plan, guys like Jennings, Wetterland, Peyton Priest we mentioned as well, that can be a real asset. It keeps things consistent on both ends of the floor.
Castillo has it on the wing, is being harassed by Champagne. Now Green has. He's going to drive. He was trying to get it to Liam Byrne, and that's going to be another turnover out of bounds. It looks like maybe he was looking for him to cut, and he was not cutting the right way. He thought he was going to go, and a little bit of a miscommunication there on the turnover.
I'm a little surprised, personally, that they didn't call Uyemura with a foul there. If you're a Bears fan, I suppose you're thrilled with that no call, but I'm a little surprised it was a no call.
Pump fake three by Champagne is off. Nice play by Rima to force the turnover. Gonzalez has it on the open floor. A nice dish by Champagne to Pierre Lewis.
That was a great play. Quentin Champagne with some eyes in the side of his head, leaving it with Pierre Louis able to corral it. It was a little bit loose, and that, of course, a testament in its own right to the Vikings' really tough, stifling paint defense. Check this out right here. Defense turning into offense. It's cliche, but it's true.
And that's what you need.
Right there. And that wasn't really a fumble at all. That was just a dribble pull up by Pierre Louis. You see the grin on his face speaks for itself. He's thrilled with that play, and I think the Bears should be. And they're really starting to stretch this one out slightly more than they were in the first half. 6-point lead, 64-58. This is a team that was kind of getting beat up on a little bit by the Vikings, just would not go away in the first half. And I think the Bears now starting to establish some more confidence. They're warmed up a bit more, and they're going to try to break away with this one.
And you know what? Like we talked about, these teams not want to break away from each other. You know, a bad turnover turns into offense, and, you know, Coach Harvey called a quick 30-second timeout to reset this Viking squad so they don't, you know, fall behind this Bears team who seems pretty figured out here. Green's going to pump fake. He's going to connect again.
I said it in the first half, you don't want to leave Josiah Green open. He will take you to the bank every single time. But you mentioned Chris Harvey, great coach, a career record well over 500. He's been doing this for 2 decades and change. He's somebody who's seen plenty of basketball and knows how to draw up great responses to little runs like what the Bears put together before that timeout.
Definitely, and Green has it again. He's going to try to spin. He's going to lose it in the paint. Kick out to Castillo for 3. That's going to rim out. Champagne with the board. He's going to kick it over to Rima, who has it on the left wing. He's going to drive. He can't find help. Gets it to Weatherland. He's looking for help. Low jump fade. Rebound by Pierre Lewis, and that's going to be swatted away by Castillo, and that's going to result in a Bears ball out of bounds. So some tough defense underneath by both squads, you can say that.
Imagine you're the swing man sitting in the paint, waiting for an easy one underneath, and you get blocked by 6-foot Jaden Castillo.
Yep.
Great defensive play by Castillo there.
Nice kick out by Waterland. And that's going to be called a travel against Rima. He should have just shot that first shot. A nice kick out by Waterland, and that was just a catch and shoot by him. And I think he kind of hesitated. Maybe he saw, you know, one of the 6-foot burns coming his way. But
it's definitely intimidating. But you think of the position Uyemura is in today, where he's made a couple of really important shots, a couple of really clutch shots. That could very easily, like you said, as the Bears execute another skillful steal there, that could easily be a nice catch and shoot 3, corner shot, make it look easy.
Waterland glides down the paint, and that's going to be off with his left hand. Castillo out to McDonald. McDonald Euros, the nice finish in the paint. Really nice looking Euro step by Chris McDonald.
We saw one of those long pass plays, those heads up, look out plays go south for the Vikings earlier. That's what it looks like when it goes absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like we're going to have a foul on number 21, Castillo.
Off ball, no less, and Coach Harvey saying no reason for you to be there. It's a needless off-ball foul that the Vikings cough up on that possession. Not going to send the Bears to the line just yet. It's interesting to note how many more team fouls the Vikings have racked up just in the first, really 8 minutes of this half.
Kick out by Champagne. Now Hallblad has it in the short corner. Urema for 3. That's good. Big time 3-pointer by Tyler Urema.
That's the catch and shoot he should have had.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, exactly, from that last possession. That'll definitely give him some confidence from the next time his shot, you know, his number's called. Ball's gonna be swung around. McDonald has it on top. He's looking for help. He gets it to Castillo, who's being guarded by Gonzalez. Gonzalez heavily on Castillo. He's gonna drive down the lane. He's gonna pass it up, and that's gonna be a nice layup by Connor Byrne. Gonzalez is gonna carry it up on the right wing for the Bears. He's gonna swing it over to Urema, who just hit that clutch 3. To Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Wetterlin. Nice idea trying to get it down below to Hallblad. It's gonna be out of bounds, Bridgewater ball.
And both of these teams, they're bringing in a couple different guards. Bears are bringing in Kuba. Vikings are bringing in Osorio. They're trying to go slightly smaller and maybe focus more on outer offense like that.
Green's going to drive down the lane. Little touch pass. Going to go to Osorio. Over to Byrne. Green's by himself. 4-3. We knew that was going in when he released that ball.
He's so dangerous when you leave him open. You see the kiss of death right there at the end.
Hallblad with a lean in and one.
And Connor Byrne has no idea what he did there. Look at this. Great transition bucket by Hallblad and the foul.
That's going to be Connor Byrne's fourth. That's a big call here for Salem. With 10:40 here left, we're going to get a sub. It's going to be number 12.
That's going to be Sean Richter.
Yep, he's going to come in for him.
From Montague, way out west there near Greenfield out in the valley.
We'll see what kind of impact he'll have here in the second half.
But that Hallblad bucket and now the three-point play complete. Great response to that open shot they coughed up to Green at the other end. You get slapped around a little bit, that's okay. Break it out fast, make a nice transition basket. And Hallblad, of course, with his ingenuity, able to turn it into 3 points.
McDonald with the floater going left, but going to finish with the right. Nice floater by him. Parsons, that's going to be a little short. It's going to be Salem possession.
And important for the Bears, Key, who's been integral so far in just his game and a half back, picks up his third.
Gonna swing it over to Richter. Richter's now hit McDonald into the paint to Byrne. That was Jarrett. Richter to Osorio. Richter 4-3. Right off the bench, and he nails a three for the Vikings.
Vikings are making huge outside shots in a game where there hadn't been a whole lot of that until now, except for Gonzalez. Vikings are really starting to put it together. Obviously, we knew Josiah Green had that in him, but now they bring Sean Richter off the bench, and all of a sudden, sophomore, Western Mass, they recruit a lot from Western Mass, the St. Louis State team. A lot of guys from outside 495. But right here, big clutch shot, Emerson Hallblad in your face. Sean Richter says, who cares? And he just takes it over him and makes it over him. That's a huge bucket. Gives the Vikings a 2-point lead. They're really switching their game up in ways that are super effective.
And you know what? I got to tip my hat off to Richter, and he just checks into this ball game. That's tough, not playing in the first half, and he nails a huge three for the Vikings, just to give him this momentum shift that we've talked about. You know, going back and forth with these two teams, with the score being so close. This is a momentum shift. He comes in off the bench, hits a huge three. You know, his teammates love it. You could hear him cheering for his name. Like, that's a big momentum thing. This could carry them the rest of the game. This, you know, one play, one possession, one steal. It could honestly be anything when a close game like this can win it for you. So we'll see.
And especially it's interesting to see a whole lot of these guys, a lot of deep bench guys for the Vikings. You know, maybe averaging 1 point a game, maybe less. They don't see a ton of action. When you get called up, when your number gets called like that, you got to prove you got it.
Yeah.
A shot like that by Sean Richter, that's one way to prove you got it. And he's going to stay in this game, obviously, as you can see right now. When it's your turn, make the most of it.
Definitely, and we'll see how the Bridgewater responds. And as we see that Key checked in here for the Bears, so we'll see if he'll be a little bit of an energy spark as he can make big plays for this Bears squad. It's going to be over to Parsons, back to Kuba, to Key. Key looking for someone, into Hallblad, drop step. That's going to be blocked by Jarrett Byrne.
Vikings go a little bit smaller, only keep one Byrne out there, and it's still all they need.
Osorio to Green. Green's looking to get by his defender. He's going to pull up. It's going to be off the mark. Green still has the ball in his hands. Drop off pass to Byrne, and he's going to get hit. That's going to be a foul on, it looks like, Parsons.
And Parsons owns right up to it. But that in and of itself even is a pretty good defensive play. It's like we were saying earlier, a very similar play where Hallblad gave up a foul to one of the Byrne brothers right underneath. Rather than give the Vikings that momentum, make them earn it at the free throw line. Certainly Jarrett Byrne is liable to pick up at least one of those points, maybe both at the stripe. But make them work really hard for it. and really keep that momentum at bay so that the Vikings don't go on a run of their own.
Just like that, Byrne missed 1 out of 2. So a little bit of a break there for the Bears.
You could argue the gamble paid off if you're Bridgewater State, but you could also argue, you know, giving up a foul. Unfortunate, another team foul against them, although they're certainly nowhere near the limit yet. There are a couple fouls from that. But
definitely. And we see Kakuba being kind of doubled here in the backcourt, and that's going to be tipped, and he wins it back. Parson now has it. He's going to drive baseline. And that's going to be a foul call, looks like, on Jarrett Byrne.
Right here, that could have been dangerous. Another one of those tip drill defensive plays. This time Josiah Green able to get a little bit more meat on it, but it ends up coming back to the Bears. And Parsons able to redeem himself from the earlier foul with a trip to the line at the other end.
Yeah, definitely. And with this being the 7th foul, now it's going to be 1-on-1 territory here for the Bears. Parsons connects. He's got one more coming his way.
When a game is this close, little things or seemingly little things like a free throw or two, those matter.
Definitely.
If he hits this, it's a 1-point game. Vikings still in front, and he does. But those things can swing the balance of a game.
Yeah, definitely. Osario's going to have it on the right wing. He's going to dance in front of Kakuba. Now he's going to drive spin. He's going to kick it out to Green, who's been ever so dangerous. And that's going to be a nice rebound by Kakuba. Picked up by Parsons. It's going to be a dunk by Key.
I think Keith Key is as glad to be back as the Bears are to have him back.
Definitely.
He was a bit of a young firecracker last year in his first year with this program, and now as a sophomore, even in just his 2nd game back, he's starting to round out the edges a little bit more. I think he's going to be someone who's going to bring a whole lot of promise to this program over the next couple of years. As we see some sportsmanship there in the replay.
Definitely. Priest now has it on the wing. He's going to kick it to Kakuba. Back to Priest. He's going to fire away. That's good. Nice, good-looking shot by Peyton Priest there. He's going to give them a 77-73 lead.
They needed that.
Definitely. That's an understatement. You said it best right there.
A fresh boost of confidence at the offensive end for the Bears. That was a big play by Priest.
Nice back cut by McDonald, and that's going to be tipped away. Now Parsons has it in transition. He's going to go to his left hand. That's going to be stripped away from him. Out to Priest again. Give us another one. Sure, why not?
That could have gone a completely different way. Justin Parsons, about to lose it, manages to grab it, makes exactly the right pass to exactly the right man.
Person at the time.
That's 2 players combining to turn something into nothing. Excellent play by Parsons and Priest. Check this out right here. You got a Byrne brother on you, tripping out of bounds nearly. You just managed to get it over, and the exact same shot, 2 in a row from Peyton Priest right at that wing. Those are huge buckets.
Yeah, and you can't ask for any more. Priest just hit a 3, and why not best hit the person who just made a 3 again in that moment in rhythm, and that's why they need Priest like him and Parsons and Gonzalez when they're in rhythm and catching it, setting their feet and shooting. This gives, you know, him space to shoot, and also people like Hallblad underneath and Pierre Lewis gives them more room to work. So it's a well-oiled machine going right now, as I like to call it, for the Bears, as they have an 80-73 lead. You can't really ask for more.
Certainly not. And you know, we talked about they're going to want to try to break away more definitively. It's really been a slap fight. This is one of the bigger leads, if not the biggest, we've seen all day. When you can get into a rhythm like that and start to go on a little bit of a run, that's something that can be a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this Vikings timeout speaks for itself. Certainly they're not doing anything super wrong, but just a couple of sloppy plays can really change the whole look of the game.
And that's what you get when you get 2 teams, you know, Bridgewater, yes, they're 10-3, and yes, Salem State, they're 3-11, but they're both 0-1 in MASCAC play, and you don't want to fall 0-2. I can tell you this right now. Both of these teams are hungry. They don't want to fall 0-2, so they're fighting, you know, to get to 500 as best they can, and that's why you're going to see this game come down to the wire.
And that's why you're going to see the Vikings about to bring Castillo back in. They're trying to remedy the situation themselves.
That's going to be knocked out of bounds, and that's going to be Salem State possession. As they thought, maybe, you know, these Salem fans at home, maybe that was going to be a foul, but it was not.
A couple of creative no calls so far today.
Definitely. Byrne has it. He's looking. He's going to kick it out to Richter. Count it. He hits another big three for this Viking squad.
This is not at all what I think, and they're going to score it along too, but still a big basket for Sean Richter.
Yeah.
Not exactly what I think we expected to see today from deep on the Vikings bench, but Richter's performing so far.
And that's the uplift they need. Parsons, that's going to be off the mark, and that's going to be Vikings ball. As Priest, you know, there's a fight underneath the hoop there, as you saw Priest and Green were fighting it for it underneath.
And our camera operator got the 3D experience.
Yeah, right up close. Castillo has it up top, being guarded by Kikibe. McDonald for three. That's a big one.
Vikings are stepping right back into this. What a massive response by Salem State, particularly from outside the arc. And a great putback there by Jennings.
Green for three.
That's his basket.
I'm telling you, the three-point line for both of these teams is their area right now. They're choosing layup, nope. Mid-range, nope. Three-pointer, green light.
Every darn time from outside the arc, and especially for Green, who's been so deadly from there today. You can't let him step into that.
It's going to be off the mark. It's going to go out of bounds. Salem State ball.
And Salem State already starting to lay some defensive pressure, putting Castillo up there deep. Ooh.
It's going to be off Hallblad.
Slick
Salem
block.
State ball.
What a slick block underneath by Jarrett Byrne. Get a look at this here. All ball, clean defensive play, and he's able to make it with such strength right there.
Definitely, and you can tell Salem's got some size with Richter and Byrne in there underneath. That's going to be an offensive call against Castillo. Nice work by
right under
Kipe.
here. Right under here, the push off, and Kikuba able to maybe sell it just a little bit. I think
just
more,
a little.
Just a little. I think more of that was realistic movement. Dante Kikuba, very effective ball player. Frankly, not the largest man on earth, and I think he's able to draw a charge like that. And Chris Harvey is not thrilled with what he's seeing and hearing out on the court. Bears are going to take the timeout. You know, it's just a one-point game. This thing has been really close this whole match. We've talked about it over and over again, and of course we know the stakes. Like you said, neither one of these squads wants to go 0-2. What a story when you look at the whole aggregate of the Viking season so far, which has, like we said at the top, it's been disappointing for them so far, but a game like this, they're really coming out in force. Huge credit to the Vikings for understanding what's at stake here and acting like it.
Yeah, definitely. Both of these teams, we just talked a couple minutes ago, the Bears had a little bit of a lead and they seemed too comfortable, and like you know, back-to-back, the Vikings come down and they score, get a stop, score, get a stop, and that's what you're going to see between these two clubs. Parsons got it on the wing. He's going to get to Hallblad. Nice turn. Finish with the right hand. Nice drop step by Hallblad. That's a good way to get him going, get his confidence back up. Keep feeding him.
Absolutely. He's found himself in a bit of a utility role today, but here in the closing minutes, that's a big bucket at the other end by McDonald.
McDonald with the fade away, dribble, mid-range. He really is really comfortable in that mid-range area. He tried to dump down to Hallblad, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds. The Bears are going to retain possession.
Yeah, right here. Another interruption by Castillo. And Hallblad ends up hitting the deck, but preventing two easy ones right there. And then Castillo with a big steal right there, and it's going to come back Salem State's way.
There's going to be a foul here.
That one's on Parsons.
It's going to be his second. So Salem's going to retain possession, and they have an opportunity here to go up. They can.
That's back-to-back crucial plays by Jaden Castillo. Deflecting the ball and protecting the ball.
McDonald top of the key for three. That's going to be off the mark. Kakuba with the rebound. He's racing away. Priest is going to pull up. Parsons has it on the wing. Going to hit the short corner. Nice bounce pass to Hallblad. He two-hand slams that one.
That was a statement play.
Definitely.
Heck, first dunk we've seen here today. And what a grab by Parsons there off the pass attempt as well. Vikings just simply threw it away.
Jennings has it. He's being double teamed out to Parsons. Parsons gets it back to Jennings again, same spot. One-on-one, Jennings. Nice punch out by Priest, keep it alive. And we're gonna have a foul. It's gonna be going Salem State's way.
And you can tell Salem State sees a lot of the writing on the wall. They're bringing back in Connor Byrne. He's going to come in for Richter, who's really performed off the bench, gave a lot more for this Vikings unit than I think we expected him to give today. Credit to him.
Definitely.
But the Vikings really need that height back in this moment. They're going to have both Byrne brothers out there right now, both Jared and Connor, I should say. 3 Byrne brothers on this team. But both the seniors out there is McDonald with that huge fadeaway. Wow. Vikings are finding crucial ways to respond. There's a hustle play right there.
McDonald 4-3. That's going to be off the mark.
I think the Salem State bench right next to us would have exploded if that basket had gone.
Yeah, as you can see now, we're getting like that 4-minute mark. You know, teams are going to start to pick up the pace, you know,
Definitely.
make plays.
Look at this. Osorio keeps it inbounds on the floor. Tough one. And if McDonald had made that, what a swing it would have been.
Definitely, for sure. And that's what you look for. Diving on the ground, boxing out. Those little plays that go unnoticed can win you a game. And a play like that Osorio made, McDonald hit that. That would have been a huge swing for the Vikings. Byrne has it. He's going to try to swing it. Now Green has it. Don't want to leave him open.
And they don't.
To Byrne. Over to his brother Jared. He's going to go in, and he's going to score nicely. Nice drive by Jared Byrne.
It's the return of the paint points. Right at the beginning of this half, we were talking about how important the paint was in the first half for both of these teams. And the Vikings are starting to step back into that a little bit as they find themselves really competing.
Kuba has it to Jennings, top of the key, his sweet spot. Now Urema has it on the top of the key, he's looking for help. Nice bounce pass to Parsons, and the floater with the left hand. That's gonna go.
High risk, high reward. That pass could have been picked off. Uyemura with great timing, able to sneak it over to Parsons on the bounce, and it turns into 2 points. And McDonald is gonna get those 2 back.
McDonald just gliding through the lane, wrong leg, fading the wrong way. He said, who cares, I'm making buckets today, and that was a nice play by him. And you know, it's a good momentum changer. Like I said, the Osorio, when he dove on the floor right in front of their bench, like that's a game changer. Even though McDonald didn't make that, you know, caused them to turn Bridgewater over, they come back, and this game is of runs and mistakes and capitalizing, and both of these teams are doing it to each other, and it's so back and forth. And man, it's going to be a good finish here with like 3 minutes left, and Salem State's up 1 point. So, well, I don't know. We'll see how this game's going to go. It's really a coin flip at this point.
Absolutely, but it has been all about, like you said, small trends, small runs and streaks here and there. Every couple of plays, one of these teams will find a flaw in the other's armor and really be able to exploit it for a play or 2, sometimes even 3. Then that team will correct, find something going wrong with the other unit, exploit that for 1 or 2 or 3 plays, so on and so forth. They've really been able to read each other very, very well today.
Right.
But at the same time, switch up every now and again and keep it competitive.
Yeah, and you know, these last couple minutes, it's going to come down to a few things. Turnovers and capitalizing on them if you get them, and making shots at the end. Like we said, if these teams are shooting like they are, we're in for, as I call it, a barn burner here at the end. You know, both teams throwing heavyweight shots at each other, hitting threes, you know, getting steals on each other. It's what you asked for, and we knew coming in both these teams were going to be hungry and motivated to get their first conference win, and I think they're living up to the hype here right now. So we'll see what both teams do, and both of these coaches have been really, really good at making adjustments, and the players have been really competitive with each other. So we'll see, you know, what the next chess move here is for each of these squads.
Most definitely. I know we're still very early in MASCAC play. These 2 teams are playing like 2 teams who could make deep runs in the MASCAC tournament.
Yeah, it feels like a conference championship game level here. Jennings, sweet spot, he's gonna score.
He actually is a little bit closer. He was closer to the elbows for a lot of his first half shots as Green takes and makes a three. No surprise there. My goodness, has he been electric from outside the arc today.
Kakuba is gonna have it on the wing. Get into Hallblad, drop step, finish on the other side of the rim. Unbelievable play by Hallblad. Tie this ball game up.
Not an easy basket, even when you're 6'9". Great reverse layup by Emerson Hallblad, adding some crucial points and tying this thing back up.
McDonald jab step. He's getting into the paint, gonna kick it to Byrne. Byrne gonna kick that out to his brother, Jarrett. He's gonna glide down the lane. That's gonna be off the mark. Nice rebound by Hallblad. Kakuba is gonna go past all of them. He's gonna kick it out to Hallblad. Priest is gonna swing it back out to Kakuba. Swing it over to Parsons. Parsons back to Kakuba. He tries to get into Hallblad. A nice block by Connor Byrne to deflect that pass. Really heads up play by him on the defensive end. Osario's gonna set things up to Connor Byrne. Connor over to his brother Jarrett. Oh, back over to Connor. Green has it now. Nice dump pass over. Finally, Connor Byrne scores.
Gets his own miss 3 times, 4th time's the charm. Let him know. Whoa, that's a hard fall by Hallblad, thankfully still with us. Tough foul as Connor Byrne is back up to his feet as well, and that's going to be the blocking foul on Byrne. This game has been physical from the jump, but it's really getting that way right here in the closing stretch. Obviously very close, just a minute and change left. You see right here, when you've got a Byrne brother falling on you, you're not exactly going to
not a cuppy fall.
You're not going to come away without a bruise, maybe. The Vikings going to look for some extra scoring, pulling Castillo back into the mix. Bears are going to look for some creative plays, bringing back in Uyemura and Key. A couple of last-minute retouches. And I think a lot of this, unless we see some really crazy sequence of plays, is going to be how this floor lineup looks for the next minute 11.
Hallblad with the free throw, crucial free throw. Now the Bears are only down 1 with 11:11 left here in this second half. Tie ball game, enough said there. Quick timeout by Coach McLaughlin to gather the troops, as I like to say, to talk things over. As you know, it's not the last possession of the game, but this could be one of the most important possessions of this game. Coming off of Byrne falling out, a little bit of momentum. Has shifted to the Bears, so we'll see what they can do with it.
Absolutely. You got to make sure that your heads are on straight.
Yeah, that's for sure.
If anything goes wrong, if anything falls by the wayside, if you cough up even 2 field goals back-to-back to the Vikings, that could ice it.
Yep.
You see a guy like Josiah Green who's going to hit the threes every single time, or you see any other number of Vikings who have made really important plays today. If you give up too much ground to any of them, even for just 2 plays, you could give away this game. So you've got to make sure right at the beginning, right here, right now, that everything is ready to go and that you're ready for any contingency.
Yeah, and I mean, this game is just super fun. Both of these teams are going really hard at each other, making adjustments, making shots, and this is definitely what these 2 teams signed up for today. Is a tough matchup, and whatever team comes out on top, whatever team loses, they're going to know it's a well-fought battle between these 2 teams. So
definitely, I would say when you look at the box score, when everything is said and done, there will be absolutely no indignity in defeat here today.
Definitely.
A whole lot of fight by both of these units. Whoever comes out of here a winner, and whoever comes out of here having lost this game, no matter what, both of these squads really fought today. Both of these squads seem very poised to make a whole lot of mess in the MASCAC if they keep this up.
Yeah, you know what, definitely whatever team wins or loses this game, it's always a teaching point. They're going to learn from this, and guess what? These teams are going to play each other again. So, hopefully we'll see when they will match up again, but we know it's going to be at Salem State. So
that rematch comes in less than a month. To say nothing of the tournament.
Castillo has it, is going to go to the top to McDonald. He's going to drive to the hole. That's going to roll out. Yarima has it now to Kakuba. And this is a tie ball game. It's going to be a timeout. Coach McLaughlin will call a timeout for the Bears with exactly 46.8 seconds left in the second half. Game is tied, and the Bears going to be a full timeout called by the Bears.
I'll be very interested to see if this one goes to overtime. Obviously, we're looking at a tie game right now, 94-all. Less than a minute left in regulation. I see no reason why this one couldn't go to some kind of OT thriller, something like that. It's been that kind of day for both of these teams. Every time someone takes away 2 points, they get 2 points back at the other end.
Definitely.
It's been a whole lot of fight, like we were saying.
And you know what, since you just mentioned that, it very well could go into an overtime game, and we'll see what, I'm sure Coach McLaughlin is drawing up a great play in the huddle, and Salem State's trying to stop that, and also game plan for when they get possession back. It's always tough as a coach because you don't want to give them too much on their plate to think about when it's a crucial moment like this. You want to keep it simple, but you want to put out your best. Like, this is probably going to be one of their better plays that they're going to throw out here against this Vikings defense, which I'm assuming they're going to stick in that zone like they have all game, unless he decides to go man to try to, mess up Bridgewater and their offensive flow. They could very well do that. So it's a game of chess.
Absolutely.
And you're playing against each other, and we'll see what each team throws at each other.
And the Bears, especially with scorers out there like McDonald, like Green, like Castillo, they're going to have to be very careful not to leave anyone too open.
Definitely.
Obviously, you've only got 5 bodies out there to match up with 5 bodies, but you have to be very careful how you approach this in the next 46.8. Looks like there's a shot clock adjustment going on.
Looks like they're trying to fix the shot clock or I'm not really sure what's going on here.
They've dropped the shot clock to 17 seconds. So the Bears presumably are only going to have possibly 17 seconds to get off this play. Still some deliberation going on between coaches and officials. And Salem State, ever industrious, already squaring up plays. With Dante Kakuba in full view, that's an interesting choice. Just leave him right there while he listens to the play you're drawing up.
Not much you can do there. I mean, you can kind of shade him out, but it was just a quick, briefing before you go back out on defense, and it looks like they're going to keep 46.8, and I'm assuming 17 on the shot clock, but I'm not really sure what they're talking about. We don't really get the full exclusive interview with the referee as others do, so.
No, we don't have the.
We're going to go with it.
We don't have the mic in front of us, I'm afraid.
No.
On their part. But assuming they get this squared away, it looks like Parsons is setting up to inbound for Bridgewater State. Side out in their own end, or I should say in their own offensive end.
21 seconds? All right, thank you, Coach. So it's going to be 21 seconds on the shot clock here.
So a couple more seconds for the Bears to try to get a score and put themselves on top, put themselves in an advantageous position here heading into the last couple plays.
Kakuba has it, going to swing it over to Parsons, to the middle to Hallblad. Kakuba has it up top, he's dancing in front. Priest is going to catch it wide, he got 8 on the shot clock now. Pass to Priest, and that's going to be off the mark. It's going to go off of Jennings' hand. It's going to be Salem State possession with 27.4 left.
That's a tough play to give up if you're the Bears. Obviously, a Viking score.
It's going to be one shot here for Salem.
Definitely. They're almost shortly. I'd be stunned if they don't try to kill as much clock as they can and hold for the end of it.
Yeah, they can hold for this last shot here. They're going to, looks like Coach is going to call a timeout. So at 19.3, Coach Harvey was going to call a timeout here to set one up for the Vikings. And, you know, it's pretty simple here. You know, the Vikings, you know, can hold it for the last shot, and all the Bears got to do is stop them, and maybe they can get a quick steal down the other end. But ideally, you know, Salem is going to hold for the last possession.
It's a pretty excellent second game of conference play for both of these teams. That's for darn sure. It's been a whole lot of fight out here today. If you're Bridgewater State,